Thank you for joining us today, Chef. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
So tell us about this WSET. You just got your
Level 2.
Level 2 diploma, and that's not nothing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Let's go through the process of you getting interested in wine and coming through that certification.
I've been passionate about wines my whole career. I collect wines at home and I read about them and all that, and I travel for it too. And then I decided to do level 1, but with the core of master sommeliers. And that was challenging too, but the more you learn, the more you want to keep kind of going. And then I run a program, a wine club program at my club, and it's very successful. And now I'm transitioning to where I'm choosing the wines, I'm doing the pairings, so it's all about me, and I want to have that knowledge. So I went to level 2, which I did during November, without a sous chef. Yeah.
That's gutsy.
it really was. So I was doing, 7 a.m., taking my kid to school, going to work, and then after the baby was in bed, I would study from like 10 to midnight every day, and you have tastings, and it was challenging. So I finished level 2, and now I'm going for all the levels.
What has that process done for you as a chef?
So, we're always working with food and wine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel I can control both. So I can control what the member is eating, but I can actually tell them what to drink as well. And it makes the wine better and the food better. Mm-hmm. What I notice more when the members find out that I passed my test and I'm studying more, they come to me, they ask me for suggestions, and they trust you more because you know exactly what you're talking or what you're saying. You're just recommending a brand, you're recommending a grape or
right.
A terroir, or why does it pair better than this? So the respect level, it has grown substantially.
So what's next?
So next, I just signed up for that one. So I started March, level 3, so that should take me around 6 months. And this level is way more difficult than level 2. And then after that, I will go for my level 4, which is a diploma, and that should take me 2 years full studying.
So why bother doing all this? Like, what do you hope to achieve?
2 things. So first, I'm always studying. I did engineering school before being a chef.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for something to go for. And then, like I said, I'm passionate about wines. I enjoy studying it, and then I can apply it in my chef career eventually. If I go to another club or in this club, I can be running the food and beverage program, and this is a very hard career. So now I feel like I have a safe space. If in 20 years I want to dedicate myself to something else.
Yeah.
I know for sure I want to stay in F&B my whole life. So this will give me, I can be a som if I want to be a som.
There's other options,
yes.
pathways.
So I don't know, I just feel like it makes me a more round-up professional, and it shows, my dedication to the craft, which that's all I do in my life.
Yeah. How has that knowledge that you've gained trickled down? Do you do wine tastings with your members? Do you teach your staff and front of house what they should be looking for and how they should engage with members?
That's a great question, and the answer is yes and no. So yes, we are starting to do that. So I just recently got all these levels. So my first class is actually going to be a fun one, and it's going to be an interactive food and wine pairing. But instead of doing a sit-down dinner and this wine pairs great with this, we're gonna do something like I'm gonna give you a Cabernet Sauvignon and a Sauvignon Blanc and a piece of lemon, and you're gonna suck on the lemon and taste the wines. And it's fantastic the way you can do that. The Cabernet won't taste bad, but it won't taste as good as it normally is.
Yeah.
But that means you can pair something acid with that wine. So it will be more technical than fancy. We'll have dinner after that. Then I'm doing a French tasting wine, and we schedule another one which is called traditional grape, different locations. So it will be Cabernet Sauvignon from South Africa instead of California, and I will walk the members to it. My goal is to do one class a month. Like I said, very casual, but I want it to be more informative rather than, just taste 7 wines and which one's better.
And I'm sure that helps you stay on top of it and keep that knowledge relevant?
Yes, and that's, I think, the most difficult part about going through these studies. You know, when you're at some, you're working with wines all day, you're seeing the wines, you're tasting wines, and your mind is focused on that, right? When I did my CEC, you know, it wasn't that difficult because that's what you work on.
Yeah.
When you're a chef and you're studying as a som, you know, that's only 3 or 4 hours of your day.
Yeah.
So when I do these classes, it makes me keep refreshing. And you know, I read a lot, both food and wine. You have to keep on the trends, the flavors. You gotta taste a lot, so it's an expensive. It used to be a hobby. It's not a hobby anymore. It's a career, I guess. But it's an expensive thing. So you need the support from your club.
Yeah.
I went to my general manager for level 3, and I said, look, I spent over $2,000 in wines on level 2, and level 3 is gonna be way more intense. So I'm gonna need the support of the club. And you gotta explain to them, right? It's not like I'm gonna sit down and drink a whole bottle of wine. I have that Coravin system when you just pour 1 ounce.
Yeah.
But we need to taste constantly and understand
So then
that.
when you are tasting those wines, are you able to then sell the balance of it to the membership? Like, is that how the club is supporting you?
That's what we're gonna start doing it for level 3.
Yeah.
I will be able to open a bottle, you know, use it and then have it. And even if you don't sell it, you can just share it with the member.
Yeah.
And tell them, hey, I just had this wine.
Right.
Try this side by side.
Yeah. And then they become part of the process too, that's a kind of a cool twist.
And it's fantastic. You know, the more I study, even if you don't know about wines, when you taste a Cabernet from California and a Cabernet from South Africa, the difference is mind blowing. But if you taste it tomorrow, you know, one day, the next one the next day, you won't, you know it's a Cabernet, but you won't know the difference.
Yeah.
So
right.
intense.
When they're side by side, you can really, really tell.
So I think it's going to bring a lot of engagement with my membership, and you know, now that I'm older and more into the business, I'm okay talking in person or going, you know, talking to my members or taking a stage, which is not always easy.
So does the club, I know you're about to embark on a clubhouse renovation. Will the club have dedicated wine space as part of this remodel?
Yes, so that was a big deal that I talked to my boss about it, and we're gonna do 2 things. We're gonna have an open kitchen concept. I wanna be able to interact more with the guests and my cooks interact more. I think the members will respect that more. We currently have a wine room, which is beautiful, but it doesn't fit a big table to dine. So that was like my big point. We need that. We need like a 20-seater, and I want to be able to do classes in there, to do dinners in there. So that's going to be in the center of the clubhouse, which will be great.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, wine is starting to become a big deal for me and the club. And
was the membership wine focused? Is that the feel of the membership prior to this process for you, or have you brought that into the club?
Both yes and no. I think, you know, when I came in, actually my interview was a wine dinner with the president of the wine club. But at that time, it was like a 20 people group.
Okay.
They were very into wine. So this guy owns wineries, so, you know, he's very into it. I've been there a decade now in my club. Now we're doing 2 wine dinners back to back, you know, so Friday and Saturday, 70 people each. We have a wait list all the time. I have to make the limits, like, I can't do more than this.
Yeah.
So the members have definitely get more involved in wine. We expanded the wine list, and again, when they read that, you know, you pass level 2 or whatever, they want to show off and they want to bring you, you know.
Yeah.
I'm constantly being.
They're proud of you.
Yeah. So I'm constantly being called to the dining room, and you know, one of the members opened a bottle and they want me to taste.
That's not the worst.
You know, sometimes it's like, you know, it's 1 p.m. You have a long day and you have to taste, and they're like, oh man, when I taste for classes I speed.
Yeah.
You can't drink that much and be
Yeah.
study. So when you're with a member, you know, you don't want to speed his $300 bottle of wine. So you're like, and you know, we're chefs. Sometimes we don't have lunch until 4 p.m. So I mean, I'm empty stomach drinking wine.
Oh no.
But for the most part, it's great, and I'm very grateful.
Yes.
And I want to continue building on that relationship for sure. I think, you know, wine needs to be. I think every chef needs to at least go for level 1 to understand the basics of food and wine pairing. I think it's very important.
What other changes will you make as part of the clubhouse rebuild?
So the clubhouse, we're very excited. The membership have shifted completely. It's a younger club. So we don't have anything to cater to the family. So we don't have a pizza oven. and I refuse to do pizzas if I don't have the right equipment. I have gone to my board and said it straight up. I'm not gonna do a product that I don't believe in. So the new clubhouse is gonna be that. It's gonna be spaces dedicated to families, more casual spaces, and then you can have your fine dining still. But we're gonna have open kitchens, pizza ovens, bars outside, rooftops. That's where we're more focused on. Oh. So I think the team is gonna have to expand. The whole club is gonna change. We're not gonna increase the membership though. Like the numbers of members are gonna be the same, but the volume of service I think is gonna
How many
increase.
members do you have?
So we have 500 stockholders, but it's 805 members between social and juniors and all that.
So pre-rebuild, how much do you do in F&B?
So right now we're doing $2.7 million.
Okay.
We're budgeting to do $3 million this year. When we open, I think our budget is gonna go to the 4 or 5s for sure.
You're gonna be busy.
We're gonna be busy, and it's great. Right now, my budget allows me to have only one sous chef. I'm pushing for the second one right now. I'm mentoring a couple of guys that I wanna have ready.
Yeah.
So this building will be ready hopefully in 2-3 years, but we gotta start thinking like right now, designing and mentoring. I'm gonna need supervisors. I'm gonna need junior sous. So I'm working on it since
start today.
6 months. Yeah.
That's smart.
And my general manager, he started a year ago. He used to be an executive chef.
Who is your general manager?
Jeff Stroll.
Oh.
So I was very scared when he came in because he's a chef. I'm like, we're gonna bump heads.
Yeah.
It's been the biggest blessing because he understands, what I need, where I'm coming from, and he helps me on the designing part, right? He understands the kitchens too, so he might be like, dude, that oven won't work. And it's been a great experience so far.
Wonderful.
And I've been again a decade in that club. I love it, but sometimes your mind wanders, right?
Yes.
So construction renovations, it makes you freshen up, and you're in a new club.
Yeah, and start really looking forward to whatever is next.
Yes.
That's
so I'm
amazing.
very happy. I'm a very great space in my career right now.
Yeah.
I love it.